Hi, I'm Karen, the Weekend Craftaholic. Thanks for joining me. Today I've got a process video for you in my quote traveller's notebook. Now I have had these quotes for a while, but just with some stuff that's happened this week, I've decided it's a good time to get these quotes out and get them in my book. Now I've already got a couple of things in mind that I want to do, so I've picked out some stamp sets and also some scrap paper from my stash as well. Now I definitely knew that I wanted to use some of this glitter back paper, and I thought green would be the perfect colour because of the Wicked Witch of the West and her coloured face. So what I'm doing now really is just trying to make it work and decide which two colours will be my background colour. I do spend quite a bit of time on this. I don't know why really. In the end I decided to just go with these two that I've got here. I like the darker colour green. The one seemed more of a yellow, and I like the texture on this lighter green as well. So now that I've cut those and measured them out, I'm just putting everything else to one side whilst I work on these two layouts. I'm just trimming off these photos slightly. It's a shame that that one printed off just close to the edge because it just cuts off the top and the bottom text, but I'm not going to go back to the printers and get that redone. Instead, I'm now just going to do some layering now with some of the extra scrapbook sheets that I've got, and just to put a couple of different layers background behind the photos to mount them. I think this is a great way to use up the scraps, using the paper as mounts behind the photos just to give them that bit more of an edge to stand out. And you can see here that I'm just using some really small pieces as well, just to frame various corners of the photos. I didn't realise as well until I started using the glitter paper that the tape runners don't stick very well to it, so that's why I've got my liquid glue gun out now just to use that instead. I think this is a really good way of using up your little scrap pieces of paper, so always keep them no matter how small they are. I just went through my little box and picked out any that had these greeny colours to them. Now you can see I'm trying to use the darker colours on the right hand side where I've got my lighter background, and some lighter colours on the left hand side where I've got my darker background, just to try and bring the two sides together. That's what I like about these traveller's notebook or pocket page notebooks. You've got the added challenge of actually blending two mini layouts into one really because of the separation. And using the liquid glue also is a great way of doing this because you can still get that movement to move them around to make sure you've got the edges completely straight. So here I've just got my little tub of these little cut apart sheets, so I'm just actually going through these now and just picking out anything of the colour that I think would work. So I've got some black ones in there as well as some greeny ones, and also some grey coloured ones to match the photograph on the right hand side. So I've just got myself a selection of those and I'm tidying away the scrap pieces now. I've also grabbed some washi tape, just the ones that I've got in this green colour as well. I'm determined to get through some washi this year and start to use it rather than just hoard it. And these ones are perfect width. I like the width of these. These came in a set from Officeworks. So I really like the grid effect of that darker green washi tape, and I'm just putting that on the right hand side, and then I'm trying to get a lighter version here too on the left hand side just to balance that out. I really like using it vertically as well as horizontally, so this is a good one and another way just to mount and edge your photos really. So again, I'm just putting that on as well just to give it a little bit more of an accent. Now with this particular photo, because it is a bit of a crazy look, I didn't want to put it straight on the page. I thought it would be better on a bit of an angle, although the one on the right hand side, I did want that nice and set into the frame. So now I'm just using my little cut apart sheets and just thinking where I can actually apply these, just to give a little bit more of a pop of a colour and a bit of an outline. Some of these are quite fiddly actually. I did decide to print some of them out on adhesive paper, which seemed a great idea at the time so I wouldn't have to glue them, but I have a terrible job trying to actually get the adhesive backing off them, so not necessarily something I would recommend. And I got these puffy stickers last week, so I've been dying to use them, and it was actually perfect timing. This particular one, You Got This, the title of my layout, was just absolutely perfect for these quotes and the week that we've had. So I also found another sticker on here that I think is really appropriate, which is Focus on the Good. So that's a nice little addition on that side just to balance the two out. And I also like the colour of it as well because it does match that little bit of an orange that we've got in the background of the pineapple card. So I've also got these little sentiment cards, and I love using these in my little layout spreads as well. Especially it saves me having to use my own handwriting, so when I find some of these phrases that are perfect, it's always a win. So what I usually do before I sit down to start a layout is just go through my stash and have a look to see, is there any relevant sentiments that I can use, is there any stamp sets that would work well as well, and then also if I've got a colour scheme in mind, I'll just get some sheets out ready to go with those. So you can see I did find a couple of these stamp sets that I wanted to use. These are really good to put on these little cut apart sheets as well, just to make your own embellishments. And there's quite a few of the different sentiments on this stamp set that I could use, so I'm just going with this one, which is a nice positive one, just to put in the middle of that, and it only just fits on, but it does the job nicely. And then just to finish it off, I wanted just to do a bit more with the embellishments, and I got these puffy stars last week at the same time as the puffy stickers. This was from a sale at Kitaholic Kits, and so I'm just applying those around now as well, just to break it up a little bit. I decided to change the placement of these because I guess this is the drawback of just randomly sticking down embellishments, which is what I usually do. Once I'd placed it down, I'd realised I'd already got a star at the top in the same colour, so just move those around. And then just to finish it off, I'm just going to add a bigger star on the right hand side here, so we've got one on that page as well. And that's my layout more or less done. I hope you enjoyed that. I really had fun making it. All that's left to do is put it back in my book now and see how it looks in the pocket page. I had fun creating my little masterpiece, so I hope you also get some time to do some crafting this weekend. But whatever you do, I hope you have a great one.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you've got any comments about this video, please leave them below. I'd love to see them. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. That way YouTube knows to recommend similar ones for you. And finally, if you'd like to see more from me, and I hope so, please subscribe by clicking the link below. I post new content every weekend.